Welcome back to another gun channel, guys. Tonight I wanted to do a video on concealed carry. I want to talk about what gun I carry, what holster I use, and kind of why and how I got to carry. So first off, let's start this by showing you the gun I carry. This gun is loaded, it is a carry gun, so let's go ahead and take care of that now. So you can see, gun is Woo. It is clear. That took way longer than I needed to. Alright, focus back on here. Alright, so I carry. Ooh, let's try this again. The Springfield XDM 3.8 compact. You can see there are 11 rounds in the magazine, plus 1 in the chamber. Man, I'm horrible at this focusing thing. Anyway, so that's what I carry. Springfield XDM 3.8 compact in 40 Smith & Wesson. I use the Galco Stow and Go holster. It's like the first time I've ever been able to say that without saying Stow and Go holster like that. Dude, it's horrible. Anyway, so this is the Galco Stow and Go holster that I use. It is a leather holster. It is shaped to the gun now, but when I got it, it was just a very plain leather holster. It has a plastic clip, which is great because it's easy to put on and to get off. Reholstering with this is kind of difficult. You can do it, but you know, reholstering shouldn't be a factor that you consider, because in a self-defense situation, you're not going to reholster your weapon quickly. You're probably going to put it down and wait for authorities. So I don't know why you guys freak out about that. Anyway, the Galco Stow and Go holster, and I'll show this a little bit closer in a future video. But right now, I kind of want to talk about concealed carry and what that means. So I'm a firm believer that once you get your concealed carry permit, in Oregon it is considered the concealed handgun license, that once you get that, you are obligated to carry because you've went through the proper training and the proper steps to ensure that you can protect others and yourself. So I carry everywhere that I go except for work. 9 times out of 10, I've got my gun on me. There are some rare exceptions, which is what kind of sparked me to make this video, and that was today I was wearing basketball shorts. If you can see, basketball shorts. Anyway, I was wearing basketball shorts, and this heavy gun here in a basketball short pocket kind of pulls your pants down and does not allow for concealment very easily. It's very, very detectable. So with that being said, I decided that I need to buy a smaller concealed carry gun for days like today. Those instances when I'm running to the store, when I'm going to the Dairy Mart to get something. Side note, Dairy Mart is a small convenience store in the Northwest. Anyway, so when I'm running to the convenience store or Walmart and I don't feel like dressing up, I just want to go in basketball shorts, I need a gun that I can carry with me, because the only gun that's going to protect you is the one you have on you, and the one that you carry 9 times out of 10 might not be there the time you need it. So I feel you need to get a gun that you will carry rather than a gun you think that you want to carry. So my advice to a first-time concealed carry person would be, if you don't have a lot of money, get a gun that you know you can carry no matter what. I don't have a lot of money, so I purchased this gun because it fit most of my wardrobes. I rarely wear basketball shorts, but in those occasions that I'm wearing it, this gun does not work. So now I'm needing to seek a smaller gun to carry with me. Had I purchased a smaller gun at first, say something like the Kel-Tec PF9 or the SIG P238, I would not need to purchase a second gun unless I wanted a larger caliber. In my experience, I have decided that I am going to carry this gun here in this holster here, or possibly like a crossbreed style holster, one of the tuckable holsters. So I will carry this gun here in a holster, and then I will also carry a smaller gun either in the pocket or ankle. We will see how that works down the road once I decide on which gun I'm going to get. Pretty certain though that I'm going to be getting the P238. It's expensive though, so won't have them for a while. But that's really the main topic of this video is if you're gonna carry, you need to get a gun that you will carry, because if I lived in a hotter place, like it was 82 today, I think. If I lived somewhere hotter, I wouldn't carry this gun because I would be wearing basketball shorts all the time. And this gun here does not work with basketball shorts. Being that I live here in Oregon, it's relatively mild climate, rains all the time, cold all the time, get some sunny days like today. I definitely think that this was a good purchase for me. But if you live somewhere where you wear basketball shorts all the time, don't change your wardrobe to fit the gun. Get the gun that fits your wardrobe, unless you have a ton of money and you feel like buying a bunch of clothes over, do whatever you want. But that's my take on it. I feel like you should get a gun that you will carry rather than the gun that you want to carry. I would love to carry a full-size 1911, but I just don't wear the type of clothing that would allow me to conceal that very well. So I'm not going to. I'm going to carry this guy here and a smaller gun that I purchase at a later date. Back to the topic of concealed carry, though. So, that was just my 2 cents about clothing and how big of a deal it was today for me. Back to the topic of concealed carry. I turned 21 March 14th of this year. On my 21st birthday, I went down to the sheriff's office and I waited in line, filled out my application, and yes, mac and cheese is amazing. Filled out my application. I got my concealed handgun license. Again, in Oregon, it's a concealed handgun license, not a concealed weapons permit, meaning you can conceal a handgun, not a rifle, nothing like that. So it is a concealed handgun license. So I did that on my 21st birthday. Basically, it goes like this. You go down to the sheriff's office, you go in, you take your application, you take $65, you take your certification from an NRA certified instructor that you've completed a safety course, and I believe also military or law enforcement backgrounds are the same paperwork as the NRA certified instructor's course completion. But anyway, so you go down there. In my case, I got in there, I waited about 2 to 3 hours, and I go up to the desk, I hand the lady my paperwork, she looks it all over, says everything was completed fine, you have to take a reference list. So I do all that, and then she lets me know that I had recently moved, but I had not changed my address with the DMV. So if you're thinking about going to get it, she said that because it was my birthday, and she'd never seen anybody in there on their 21st birthday in the 5 years she's worked there, she said she would let it slide and process the paperwork today as long as I promised to go in and get my my address changed with the DMV. She said you can do it online. So I pulled out my iPhone and I did it right there in front of her. She was very thankful. She said, that's awesome. Thank you so much for getting that done. Normally, if you don't change your address and it's not up to date with the DMV, your application gets denied, and then you have to wait 30 days to 45 days for your CHL anyway. That gets postponed. She said it's a big hassle. So just a little tip, change your address if you've moved. Don't just change it with the post office, change it with the DMV. So I'm in there, I do that, then they fingerprint you and they take a picture. I look like a criminal in my picture. I will put a picture in the video here. Okay, so now that you saw what a criminal I looked like in my video, or in my picture, that's it. So then they print it up right there in front of you, let you hold it, and then say, okay, they throw it in your file. 30 to 45 days later, you'll get it. I don't know if they thought I was special or something, but I got mine like 20 days later. I was ecstatic. It was amazing. It comes in the mail. I start carrying that night. Now, let's flash back a couple weeks. I had the Springfield XCM 4.5, so the full-size model of this gun here. And my best friend, a guy who's in the military, he carries a SIG, I think it's the 226, and he uses the Stow and Go holster. And he was like, dude, you got to go get yourself this holster. It's cheap. I carry everywhere. I love the holster. It's easy to put on, easy to take off. He's just a big fan of it. So I went and I spent like the $20 or $30, however much this was. I think it was like 25. And I bought this holster. And after buying the holster, I decided that that gun in this holster was a little uncomfortable. My camera is about to die. We will resume this in just a moment. And we're back. So I started carrying the Springfield XDM 4.5 in 40 around the house in this holster, and I realized that it was really uncomfortable. The grip would stab me in the back. The barrel went too far down, and it was right in the middle of my ass cheek. It was just really uncomfortable. I wasn't a fan of it, and I figured, shoot, if that's the gun, I probably won't carry. Originally, I had the idea of getting my CHL because I like to go target shooting a lot, and if I had my gun on my side and I was wearing my jacket and I got pulled over, I didn't want to have to explain myself. If I have a CHL, oh, it's fine, I forgot to take it off at the range, no big deal. But then, after talking to my buddy who carried everywhere every day, kind of got me more into the self-preservation aspect rather than a not going to jail aspect. And I decided I wanted to carry everywhere and every day. But I wouldn't carry if that was the gun. This goes back to picking the right gun rather than changing your wardrobe. I couldn't conceal that gun comfortably. I didn't have the clothes to do it. I didn't have the size. Well, people say it's not size, it's holster and stuff. Well, this was a holster I had. And so, of course, like any genius out there, rather than finding a better holster, I bought a better gun, right? I mean, you might be a gun addict if. Anyway, so I bought this gun here, as I mentioned before. And it's been great. So now back to the day I get my CHL. I was incredibly excited. I was home on lunch, checked the mail, because I was checking it every day. I knew it wouldn't happen, but I figured I would check every day anyway. So I'm out there, and actually my fiance had checked the mail, and I said, oh, did anything come for me? She's like, no, just this thing from the state. And it was this little tiny envelope, and I was like, oh goodness, they denied me or something. I was so upset because I expected it to be different. It just didn't look right. I open it up, and it's this paperwork that talks about once you get your CHL, and I was like, what? So I open it all up, and there it is, and I'm able to carry. And I remember going back to work, and I showed all my coworkers, look what came in the mail today, because none of them like guns. There's 2 or 3 that do. But I just had to talk about it. I was so proud that I got it. I was so excited. I remember going to Walmart that night and buying beer for the first time. Actually, not even beer. I think I bought Mike's Hard Lemonade because that's what my fiance likes to drink. That's what I'm drinking right now. Anyway, don't mix firearms and alcohol. Anyway, so I go, and the guy there, I think I just gotten off work. I don't have my gun on me or anything, but I go and I grab the beer, and he's like, can I see your ID? And of course, the first thing I grab is my CHL. You have to be 21 to have one, so it was just awesome. And then he's like, oh, you carry? And he started talking to me. He's like, what do you have on you right now? I was like, oh, I just got off work. I don't have a gun on me because where I work, they don't allow me to carry a gun. But anyway, so that was a really cool experience. Got to use my CHL, blah, blah, blah. Man, this video is just rambling on. But I remember carrying for the first time. It was a really cool feeling to have your gun on you, know you can protect everybody. And that brings me to my next topic, why you should carry a gun. I carry a gun to protect myself, to protect my fiance, and to protect my 2 daughters. And anybody else around me that may need protection that are in, or with me, God forbid I'm in a movie theater like in Aurora. It's just, if that situation arises, I want to be able to protect myself. Even if it was, I'm not saying that what happened there is why I carry, and I'm not saying that I would have survived or I would have changed anything, but I sure would have liked to have a fighting chance had I been there, or had it doesn't happen here. I know it's still a sensitive subject, so I'd like to stop talking about it now. But anyway, I want to be able to defend myself and those around me. if not to just draw attention off of everybody else. If I am in a crowded area, I would like to be the one that dies fighting for everybody else, rather than 5 other people dying and me surviving. I would hate for my family to be shot and I do nothing. I would rather give them the opportunity to flee. So that's why I carry, to protect my family and those around me. You also need to think about what would happen if you shoot somebody in self-defense. Tom from Weapons Education has a really good video. I'm not going to spend very much time talking about it. Read your state and local laws, see what they are. Every state's different, every area is different. But watch Tom's video. I'll put a link below in the description. Watch his video, see what that's all about. But that is why I carry. Be careful of when you carry. Don't just flash your gun. You're carrying something that can kill somebody. Serious note now. This here, that pointing at you, here, let's zoom in a little bit. That could kill you. When you carry something that could kill somebody, you have to take extra steps. I am not going to try to fight you, even if I know I would win. There's no point in it, because if it escalates, I don't want to have to use this. That's what you have to remember. You don't want to have to use this gun. This is the last resort. If you get in a fist fight, fight with your fists. Don't pull your gun out. If it goes past that, they pull a knife or they pull a gun. That's why you have this. But don't think that, people get in fights all the time. And don't think that every one of those people in those fights should have been shot. It doesn't work like that. If you get in a fist fight, fight with your fists until it becomes something else. That's, just use common sense, people. Think of all the high school kids that would be dead if everybody just started shooting each other whenever they got in a little fist fight. That's the biggest thing I want you to take from this video. Just because somebody tries to fight you doesn't mean you can shoot them. Drunk people do stupid stuff. If you think they're going to kill you, or there's multiple people, then you can be justified. But you have to know that you're justified. And just getting punched in the mouth, to me, is not justification, because it happens all the time, and it's just petty fights. They shake it off, you go away. We were just down at the lake the other day, and these guys were drunk and they got in a fight. Now, had his buddy pulled a gun and shot him, he would have been completely wrong. They were friends, they were all drunk, it was a petty fight, it was nothing more, and went away. You have to think of those situations there as you couldn't use your gun. He would have went to jail for murder because he escalated a situation that didn't need to be escalated. So, just think of the serious notes if you're going to carry a gun. But that's what I carry. That's why I carry. And now I'd like to show you how I carry. So I don't know how well you can see this, but this is why I didn't carry in shorts, because it's prints horribly and it's just sagging my pants down. So that's why I didn't carry in shorts. But here's how I would carry if I were in jeans. So this is how I carry every day. Pants and a shirt. Gun right here. Can't even really tell that I'm wearing one. Gun is right there. Easily accessible. So that is where I carry, what I carry, and let's move on to the rest of the video. Alright guys, so now that you saw how I carry, what I wear, how I dress, where I put this gun, you kind of understand. Yes, it can be visible. I don't even stress about it anymore. Like if it comes out, yeah, I try to keep it as concealed as I can, but nobody's ever said anything. I think the people around here are pretty gun friendly, I would say. I know there's definitely people that aren't, but I haven't run into any issues. Make sure you look for signs. In some states, signs are good, signs are bad. Some hold legal justification, some don't. So just make sure you know your laws if you're going to carry. Go to handgunlaw.us. I'll put a link down below if you want to know more about your state. That was my shoe. If you want to know more about your state, if you want to know more about what states honor your permit and things along those lines, just go and check them out and read your local laws. That's the number one thing. That's what I did before I carried. I have read the Oregon law regarding guns, Oregon gun laws. like I was reading my favorite book. I mean, my nose were in those laws, in and out, trying to understand everything. If I ever had any questions, I asked other people on forums, watched videos on YouTube. You know, this video is not here to make you a concealed carry expert. This was just to shed a little bit about my experience, talk about why I carry, how I carry, and you know, pretty much that's it. It's not an expert video because I'm not an expert. We're all new at this, and well, at least I'm new at this, and I'm just trying to shed a little bit of light to people who may be considering it or may be brand new. So, get your permits, get your guns, learn to shoot them. That's the number one piece of advice. Shoot the gun you carry, because it does no good to you if you don't know how to use it. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more gun videos. I'd like to get some shooting videos done here in the future. And, you know, like I say, as always, take care.